Doing things a little bit differently this week on the Calcio Guys, Nicholas, Adri, and Gianni, but always connecting back to Calcio. Joining us is sporting director of CS Saint-Laurent, former pro player Rocco Placentino. How's it going, Rocco?
I'm good, you guys. How's it going?
Can't complain.
Doing very well.
Doing very well. Thank you for coming on, Rocco. It's a pleasure to talk to you, and we're really stoked to get this interview going.
And, the reason we have you on, Rocco, this week, keeping it local. CS Saint-Laurent, the semi-pro team, became the first semi-pro team from Quebec to beat a pro team in the Canadian Championship last week, beating Halifax. And they have a big game this week against Wednesday, First Lake here in Montreal. But, before we get into the nitty-gritty, what we always do with our guests when they come onto the show, Rocco, we always ask, what's your passion with Calcio? What's your story with Calcio? So obviously you're a fan, you're a former pro player, and now now as sporting director, you oversee development of all these young athletes. So just give us a bit of your background and what makes you so passionate about this game.
Soccer's in my blood. My having my dad and my brother being in soccer their whole lives, just they took me under their wing, and it's something I love since 2 years old. Like all I did was soccer, and when I knew when I was going to retire and finish playing, I said I still want to be in soccer. And 12 years later, after my retirement, I'm still in soccer, and I plan to be for another 12 years, and then another 12 years. So it's just I love the sport. I love watching it. I love playing in Europe. Maybe look at different divisions also. So I see the higher level, low level, and for me, it's just something I fell in love with. And besides my beautiful wife and my kids, soccer's my love.
Yeah, and just want to start off with the fact that you're one of a very local homegrown hero. I remember I have a little something here, surprise. Oh no, hold on, let me take out my green screen. Hold on. Obviously, when I want to show it, the green screen comes into effect. Settings.
There's settings at the
camera, done. Virtual background. Let's turn it off for a second. I got a little photo here.
Oh man,
from when you visited. Well, I wasn't. My brother was in elementary school at the time at St. Dorothy Elementary School. You went to go do a visit at the school.
Oh man!
And he had this in his collection, and we kept it throughout the years. I think we had another one that was signed. I think my brother has it in his stuff in his room.
I think I still have all kinds of those in my bins in my little front. Oh my God, yeah, that's cool. Brings back good memories. Thanks for that.
Yeah, and also just want to pass the word. Just sorry, viewers or listeners, for just taking over the convo for a bit. But my stepdad Joel Altomare wants to say hi to you.
Wow.
He had to go fix his phone, so sadly he couldn't be on. I wanted to bring him on as a little surprise.
No way.
And my mom Mickey Chaffee says hi.
The woman yes, of course.
They did your wife's bridal shower and stuff. They wanted me to pass the word.
World.
Tiny island.
Yeah.
I will.
A lot of Italians, but it's a very tight-knit community.
Big time.
It's a small world, Rocco. And honestly, being the legend that you are here in Montreal, like Johnny said, local homegrown talent. Your story has been pretty amazing from playing obviously here for the local team and the Impact, and going abroad to the home one in Italy to play as well. It's an inspiration, and I'm assuming that anybody that has been associated with you, like within the ranks, has definitely looked up to you, and you as a player and as a person. So just want to put that out there before we give you your flowers before we get into the nitty gritty. But
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. So the CS Saint-Laurent, obviously history was made, like Nick opened the show with. Just if you want to give us just us and the listeners just a brief history with the club, being a semi-pro club here in Saint Laurent, just some quick facts about the club and the competition that they play in and what the club is all about.
Yeah, so I arrived in Saint Laurent as a technical director in 2012. Very small club. We had 850 members, but I noticed that there was a lot of talent. Fast forward to 2020. 2021, I became sporting director, so I really overlook everything, because from 850 members, we went up to 2,300 members.
Wow.
From 20 competitive teams to 70 competitive teams, from having 10% girls, it's almost at 50%. It's almost like balancing out. So the club came a
Amazing.
long way. We grew, and then we had a lot of talent that were boys from the ages of, let's say, born in 2000, 2001, 2002, and 2003. But that was like maybe 6-7 years ago, and they really wanted us to have a semi-pro team. But I personally wasn't ready. The club wasn't ready. When I do something, I have to do it 100% committed, and I do it right. And if there's one thing we've been doing in Saint-Laurent for the last 12 years, is things right. So we found partners. Sammy Fruits and Crevi are two of our partners with the club that own the team. And we took off in 2022. So we're still babies in the big league because the league has been existing since 2012. And we're in our third year. And the first year in the league, we finished second. We could have won it. And the second year in the league last year, we killed it. The players and the staff did a fantastic job. I put a guy in charge of the program. His name is Mateo Cabanetes. He's the general manager. He put the team together, coaching staff together. I helped them on that part of it. And then the rest is history, man. Honestly, it's literally history because they created history last week.
Absolutely.
One question I have is because, obviously it's Saint Laurent, and you guys probably do some local scouting or local development. Because I'm a teacher, and I did some substituting stints at École Evangeline and stuff. And I noticed a lot of the kids in the neighborhood and at that school specifically are really good. Is that like one of the schools that you guys like target often, or like?
Yeah, there's Evangeline, there's École Saint-Laurent, there's a couple of different schools in the area that have all this like raw talent, right? And like street players, and our job is to try and take these players and take them from being raw and street ballers to a bit more structured and organized ballers, right? And sometimes it goes well where the kid listens and follows through, and then sometimes it just doesn't pan out and they don't play soccer, right? But the majority of the time, like the ones that are on this semi-pro team are the ones that want it. They really want it. So that's why we're successful.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, the majority of the players on the semi-pro team, is it just guys that have come up through the youth ranks with CS Saint-Laurent? Is it guys you take from other parts of Montreal? Like, how does that work?
So anything that's elite program, so forget about semi-pro for a second, but everything that's elite meaning AAA, let's call it a change now, but call it AAA. A lot of the players that are on these teams, because at 15 plus, you have to, like, it's a good thing to win because you go to nationals. We all know that. That's how soccer is. And for us, it's a mandate to try and go to nationals because that's how you put players, girls and boys on a stage, right? To perform and to have maybe scholarship opportunities or whatnot, right? So players come from different parts of the city or the province, to be honest. I have players that come from Gatineau to play with us, right? Wow. But yeah, every team has, I would say our AAA program is 70% Saint-Laurent, 65-70%. Our semi-pro program, our reserve team is like 90% Saint-Laurent, and our first team is like maybe 6 to 7 players that are born and raised with our club. So it seems low, but it's pretty cool. At that level, it's a pretty high number.
Yeah, absolutely. And with all this development that's going on, and obviously getting back to the grassroots is really where, especially here in Quebec, to grow this game, I think is very, very important to have these structures at the grassroots level, concrete, solid and really working. And I listened to you last week on our good friend Steve Puyo's Milan Weekly podcast, the local soccer show. I listened to that episode, and I took from that you really take this adventure and this journey with CS Saint-Laurent professionally. It's really run professionally, and I think it's built, having those building blocks to hopefully get these players to the next level. Is that a goal for Saint-Laurent? What's the end goal for, not only for you personally, Rocco, but for the club itself and with the players at hand that are producing? You guys are producing, not only you guys, but just here in Quebec, producing a lot of great talent. What's the end goal for you and the club?
For us, the club itself is just to keep on developing the youth, and besides, players getting pro contracts or playing semi-pro or getting university scholarships, it's for kids to love this beautiful sport. So the longer we could keep them playing, whether it's high level, low level, doesn't matter. You know what? One thing I've learned in the last 12 years, and I'm inspired by it, to be honest, because I lived it myself when I was a kid, is that you build memories with parents, with coaches, with players, different cultures, different religions. It's in Saint-Laurent, it's special. But we talk about Saint-Laurent, but Quebec is the same. I think that Quebec has so much talent, and it's just, we don't talk about it enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. And
Yeah.
I just want people to understand that, Wednesday night we're playing this big game, and it's not Saint-Laurent, it's Quebec. Like, honestly, it's to show people that even if you're not professional, don't give up, man. Keep on working hard, and things happen for sure.
Speaking about, developing these young players, I think, probably the most known name internationally coming out of Saint Laurent is Ismail Kone. He played in Saint Laurent before transferring to the Impact. Now he's at Watford. For you personally, what was that like, seeing him make that progression, also playing the World Cup, and not only him,
still so young too. It's incredible.
He's still young. I know there's Moise Bombito, who also played for Saint Laurent. He's playing for Colorado now. What's that like for you personally, and even as the organization as a whole, to see these guys play at such a high level?
I'll start with Moise because I'll give him respect. He's a bit older than Kone, so I'll start with him. Moise is a fantastic kid. Honestly, I never saw a kid that worked so hard in his life, and he was part of a generation that was super duper strong. When I tell you that he was not even close to being one of the best players on that team, I'm being very honest, and he would admit that with pleasure. But what he had was that he didn't give it. He used to give his all every single practice. Whether he would play a game of 20 minutes or 90 minutes, he would give his 100%. And that's why, his story is crazy because Bombito left Saint-Laurent. He played a year or two in Saint-Tropez semi-pro. And in 2022, he was supposed to sign with us semi-pro, right? So homeboy coming back to semi-pro. But in the meantime, he was at a community college. Then he moved into a university of New Hampshire, had a killer season as a center back, scored a couple goals, went into the MLS draft, and was picked third overall out of the whole draft. Yeah. And went to Colorado, and he's killing it. So I wouldn't be surprised if this summer he's gone somewhere else. And then my boy Ismail. So Ismail comes from NDG, all right? I'm going to throw a lot of flowers to NDG because they had him since he was, I believe, 9 years old. He came to us at 15 and a half years old. The reason why he moved to our club is because our elite program, the 2002s, is very strong. So he want to have a chance to go to nationals. And we're talking about a kid that's been cut by the Impact 3 times. And he never gave up. And even him, he's a sweet kid. He has an amazing mother. It's him and his mom. And he always said it, I'm gonna be a pro one day. I'm gonna be a pro one day. And he did everything in the span of 9 months. He went from Montreal, and my dear friend of mine that passed away, Jason Vitulio, had him with the reserve team of the CF Montreal during COVID. And after 2-3 weeks, he calls me, like, Rock, I'm sending him to Wilfred on the first team. And at that time, they were in a bubble in Florida for 3 months. So he didn't have a contract, but he was training with the first team. He got his first contract end of July, didn't play. And then he started the season in April with the CF Montreal, killed it, went to World Cup. I went to World Cup. I went and watched him play. And he's just killing it, the kid. He's in Watford. He's you know what it is? He's so poised as a professional, as a human being, actually, and he's just doing what he loves. He loves it. Like, he just plays it. Like, it's like he's in a park with friends playing soccer, yet he's playing in the Championship League, which is one of the hardest leagues in the world. And he loves it. He loves it, and he's enjoying it. So it's just a start for these guys.
Now, Rocco, I know you don't have much time left, but just
I can go over a bit. Don't wait.
Okay.
Wait a bit.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you for that. So I wanted to get some of your thoughts on the previous game versus Halifax for CS Saint-Laurent, the upcoming game versus Toronto, and for people who might be interested in catching that game, especially for locals here in Montreal, how can they get tickets to that, or how can they participate in all that action?
Yeah, so right now what we do encourage is for you to come to the stadium, because at the end of the day we're playing against Toronto FC. Like, it's not their B team, it's really
a big deal.
Team. People are saying we're playing the reserve team. Like, no, we're playing against Toronto FC. So I think the message is a bit mixed, but they can get tickets on our website. There's a link. It's a Zephy link. It's on all our social medias, my social media. It's on Semi-Pro Saint-Laurent social media. It's on Actually, even clubs like RDP. I want to shout out to Steve Polillo
Yep.
that he honestly, and I would have done the same. Like he reposted our club playing this game, buy tickets, go support, and that's what the club should do. We should all be in this together. It's not about just Saint-Laurent, but it's about soccer in Quebec. So they can buy their tickets at Robillard. They can buy them online. It's on in an app called Zephy, and $20 general admission, first come first serve. We already sold over 3,500 tickets. Which is we're thinking that we're gonna hit 5,000-6,000 people. So I was there today, guys. I was at the stadium today. Look, I haven't slept since Halifax. Like I was
gonna say
10 pounds. I'm happy because I lost weight, so that's great. I haven't seen my family. My family forgot my name. They don't know who I am anymore because I'm busy. But it's all for a good cause. Like my kids are gonna walk in. You know, with the I asked my son, I go, Mateo, who you want to walk in with when you're holding hands with? TFC player. He goes, no, me, I want to walk in with Yann Toile. It's one of our players, right? So he doesn't care about TFC. He really wants to walk with Toronto players. So
beautiful.
It's exciting moments, man. Really is.
Listen, Rocco, our tickets are purchased, so we're part of that number. So we'll definitely
awesome.
see you. We'll definitely see you on Wednesday night at Cool Robillard. But just backtracking a bit before, kind of your expectations and your thoughts and feelings for this home and away with TFC. You guys did history, right? Obviously, beating Halifax Wanderers. What was that all like? Just I guess just poured all the emotion, because I could just imagine how emotional it was. Going all the way to penalties, and your team showing a lot of character, and if I can say a lot of grinta, right? For our good friend Jason DeTulio, but just all the emotions, and just want you to kind of paint us a picture for that day.
So the Halifax game, when we took the lead 2-1, we were the better team. And One Soccer in the post game, they spoke about 35 minutes about Saint-Laurent, that we were the better team and all that stuff. So when they tied it up at the end of the game, it was an offside goal, but they tied it up. We went to PKs, and we shot first. We scored. They scored. We scored. They scored. We scored. They were going to their fourth shooter, and there was 5 of my colleagues in a line next to the bench holding each other, and I was just pacing back and forth by myself like this. I did maybe like 10,000 steps in like 5 minutes, and before their fifth shooter went to shoot, before their fourth shooter went to shoot, I went up to my friend, my Matteo, Medi, Andrea. There was a couple guys, and I said, "This is our moment. He's gonna miss." We turn around, he misses, and our fifth shooter, Mamadou Kane, scored a winning goal. And you know what number he was wearing that game?
Number 7.
Number 7.
Yeah.
So
it was meant to be, Rocco.
So when he scored, everybody sprinted to the corner, and I was frozen. I couldn't move, and that's not me. Usually I go crazy, veins come out of my neck, and for a minute I had to I couldn't move. I was frozen, and so I think that Jason was definitely there with us. He always finds a way to prick. I swear to God, man, miss him so much. But he was definitely there. I felt him. I felt him. I really did.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I know it's obviously touchy subject, but I'm glad that we brought this in, and I was going to bring it up at the end, in terms of obviously his foundation, going on, and I think they're having, if I'm not mistaken, it's the first annual event. I think, if I'm not mistaken, in October. Do you want to just speak about that before we continue on with the show, since we are on the topic? And I'm getting a lot of, obviously, the Jason DeTulio vibes right now. So, and obviously, I know you guys were very, very close. I've seen it from afar. Obviously, I can't say I knew Jason DeTulio personally, but I know people who did, and just his story. It's, even if you're not a cultural fan, even if you're not connected to this game, I think the story and the message and the fight, the grinta is really something that really poured through to that message. So if you want to just give us some information on the foundation and Jason, the person, maybe.
Yeah, so I'll start with the foundation. I think Vanessa, the sister, has been doing a phenomenal job on getting this going. They put this fundraiser together in October, the first ever annual poker tournament, and looking for a lot of sponsors to be a part of it for a good cause. Like all money goes to certain things of always to do with kids and with research and all that stuff. So I really I tip off my hat to Vanessa for keeping his legacy alive. But his legacy is gonna live. Like him, like I have La Grita tattooed on my leg. Like all my club jerseys, they all have number 7 at the bottom, La Grita. It's on all their jerseys. He's gonna be with us forever. Jason, I had a like we said, he had a lot of friends, Jason, and I had a particular relationship with him in terms of whenever I needed him or whenever he needed me, we're always there for each other. And it's kind of sad, short life, and he had so much to give. Oh my God, he the real definition of La Grinta, man. Honestly, the kid was a machine, and he was an amazing soccer player. For people who don't know about Jason, Jason was like one of the best right backs in Canada, if not the best, if he didn't have knee problems. And then as a coach, I think he had big plans. But now he's coaching with Maradona, and he's playing a bit of football with Pele, and you gotta laugh about it, right? At the end of the day, it's life's too short, and we lost a good one, man. We lost a fighter. Honestly, guys, when in his last months, I would go see him a lot, and he didn't want to. Like, he didn't give up, man. He had so much energy and willingness to try and beat it, and at the end of the day, we got the best of him because it was too difficult. But his legacy, his name is going to be with us for lives ahead of us, and I give inspirational stories to a lot of my teams in Saint-Laurent about him, and I'm surprised I'm not crying now, because every time I talk about Jason, it's very difficult. And but when I'm having a shit day, I just think about Jason, and everything else goes away. Because at the end of the day, life is, we're blessed to be alive and to have loved ones. If you have a girlfriend, if you're married, if you have kids, if you have a family, we're so blessed. And sometimes we really take advantage of life, and we shouldn't, because life is very short. And Jason, for me, but for a lot of people, it's a hard one to swallow, and we got to keep his name alive for the rest of the time, because he's a fantastic kid. I love him to death.
Absolutely. And Rocco, I just want to say personally, we really do appreciate you opening up about Jason DeTullio. Obviously, like you said, his name definitely needs to continue to be spread out, his message, his story. So we really do appreciate you kind of peeling open the onion a bit, and really sharing that, and really talking on a real level, because like you said, life is definitely too short. So we definitely don't want to take it for granted. So from us to you, honestly, we really appreciate you opening up for that, because it gets us emotional, even though our ties to him wasn't like yours, but it really takes a lot of courage, and we really do appreciate you opening about that. And definitely whatever donations maybe we can give out, we're definitely more than happy to do that. So honestly. So I think we'll move on. I think Nick, or Johnny, had another question.
First, how much time? Because I know you got to go.
We'll do another. See, they texted me. I'm just gonna text them another. I can do another 5 minutes.
Sounds good.
5 minutes. Good. Beautiful.
I do want to ask you, because Euro's coming up in a month from now. I know you were part of the TVA Sport crew last time around. I don't know if you're doing that again. The analyst crew. Are you going to be joining them this time around?
No.
No. Okay. Nothing official yet.
Understandable.
You gotta clip that. We gotta clip that, because people on audio are not gonna realize what happened right there.
It'll be on YouTube. Don't worry.
let's just say I have to have my wife speak to me in French for the next couple of weeks.
Attaboy.
But obviously, I want to ask your thoughts on the Euros and how you think the Azzurri will do. But first, people listening probably don't realize they've probably seen a video of you a couple years ago after Italy won the Euros, you celebrating, and people thought you were Alessandro Del Piero, which is funny because when I first saw the video, I can't say I would have recognized you from behind, but I kind of recognized the TV Sport studio, and I was like, wait, that doesn't look like that looks too familiar. So what was your reaction to people thinking you were ADP and also that video you're celebrating a lot, like your feeling of winning, of seeing Italy win the Euros?
I think we should ask Alessandro Del Piero what was his reaction on people thinking it was pretty cool. It was a guy from Dubai. So he was Alessandro Del Piero was working the ESPN studio, and that day we're dressed similar. So he really thought it was Del Piero with ESPN, so he posted it because I was really crazy. I became possessed, and I have some backstage footage, guys, that you would die. You would literally die. And so anyways, they thought it was him, and they and he got over 10 million views on TikTok. So I reached out to him and I said, buddy, just let you know it's not Del Piero, it's me from Montreal. All that. He's like, oh my God, I just realized it. Oh my God, but look, I got 10 million hits. So I'm like, where's my cut? There's no cut. So that was, look, honestly, we're just coming out of COVID that summer. And I remember TV Sport at the end of the game, they're like, okay, we're all going to go eat somewhere, the whole crew I'm like, guys, I'm going to RDP and I'm going to parade. I'm not coming.
Yeah.
So we left and I left and that year was magical, man. That summer was beautiful. From working only 8 games, I worked like 16 games because of Italy. So I made more money. So it was perfect.
Any thoughts for this summer? Defending champions, Rocco. What do you make? You make of anything with that?
Look, I'm a very when it comes to like life and soccer, I'm very honest, and I don't like La Nazionale. I don't. I think that we're not what we used to be, but it's a tournament, and anything can happen in a tournament. Just like for Italy, it could be for Spain, it could be for Germany. You never know. I think France is super duper strong, on paper at least. But the Azzurri, and I look at the picture that Gianni has in the back, and we don't have that anymore. Yeah. Come on, guys, let's be honest with each other. That doesn't exist anymore. But you never know. You never know. The ball is round. I mean, that's my saying. The ball is round, and there's 3 games to come out of the group, and then we'll see what happens, man. We'll take it from there. 1 game at a time. That's it.
Absolutely.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
Just one thing before we wrap this up, Rocco. Wednesday can't come soon enough. You said the tickets are sold. I hope there's more tickets being sold. Then I'm guaranteed that there will be. But just as home and away, before we wrap this up, excited, nervous, ready? Like what's the vibe going on this home and away?
Excited. No matter what the result, excited. I just want to see the soccer community come together and witness history, right? An amateur club playing it's David against Goliath, right? So for us, it's a historical, magical moment. So we're going to embrace it no matter what the result is. But like I said in my last podcast, they asked me, what do you think the result's going to be? I said, we're going to tie Wednesday, and we're going to go win, and we're going to go win the 21st.
There you go.
Hey, anytime we get to cheer against Toronto,
we'll take it.
Way.
Okay. Say good night.
Good night.
Good night, fellow. But,
all right, boys.
But no, Rocco, thank you so much. Honestly, from the three of us here at the Calcio Guys, we really do appreciate your time. I know
anytime, man.
But we really appreciate you. We hope to see you. Well, we know we will see you on Wednesday. We hope to maybe get a few words in, but before
for sure,
a
guys, if you
big
see
moment.
me, just call my name, and I'll definitely turn around and come see you guys for sure.
Perfect. So we'll see you Wednesday, Rocco. Best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Not only this home and away, but for the future of CS Saint-Laurent.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much, man. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks so much. This was
Have
amazing
Thank you.
And Forza Saint-Laurent.
That's right.
Forza
See you guys
Saint-Laurent.
on Wednesday.
Ciao, guys.
Thanks, Rocco. Ciao.
Bye, Rocco.